people, it is me again, Britney, El-Amin, certified personal trainer, and I want to thank you for tuning in again with me on the DJ Starr Show. I am here every Friday at 10 p.m. and I am here on a Friday at 10 p.m. again. And today I want to talk to you and give you tips about grocery shopping, not just any kind of grocery shopping, but healthy grocery shopping. I have a lot of clients, and I know a lot of people, when you're doing that crossover from eating not so healthy to cross over to eating healthy or eating whole foods, you can get a little lost in the grocery shopping department. So I want to give you a few tips to stick with that you can keep that may work for you and that have worked for me specifically. So not just things that I've read, but things that I've learned through my own experience that I want to pass over to you watching at home. The first thing I want to talk about is processed and/or canned foods. The things that we have on the table here on display are the things that I do not want you to buy. These are the things that I do not encourage, okay? I actually want you to get into buying frozen and/or whole foods, okay? The reason being is that these things could last on the shelf forever. However, your healthy foods, such as your whole foods, may only last a week or so. So the first tip I want to give you is you want to get in the habit, when you cross over to eating healthy, to going grocery shopping weekly. Okay, tip number one, I want you to get into the habit of going grocery shopping weekly. Therefore, your food that you're buying, you're spending your hard-earned money on, is not spoiling and or going bad before you can get to it. Your salads, your bananas, your potatoes. You want to keep all those things within a 1 week time span. The second tip I want to give you is you want to make sure that you create a list. But before you create that list, you want to really sit down and ask yourself, what am I going to eat this week? Okay, it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday, you're getting ready to go grocery shopping, the week is coming up. What do you actually need to get from the grocery store? A lot of times we do the reverse, so let me go to the grocery store and I figure it out when I get there. Then when you get to the grocery store, you're putting everything in the cart, and then when you get home, you're still kind of trying to figure it out, what I'm going to put with this, what I'm going to put with that. Then you kind of still go back into the habit of maybe not even eating healthy, but not eating a full meal. Now, I'm going to make these mashed potatoes and something, I don't know. And now you're doing that, opposed to having your protein, your starch, and your veggie as a full course meal because you didn't left the veggies or you didn't get this. So you want to make sure that you have a list created based off of a meal schedule that you came up with for yourself for that week. A lot of you at home, if you don't mind eating leftovers, cook enough on Monday to last Tuesday and Wednesday. But you want to make sure that you have enough food stored in your house in order to do that. Okay, if I know that my snacks are going to be bananas this week, I need to make sure that I have enough bananas for this week. Okay, so you want to make sure that's something that you kind of do. You want to make a list and you want to plan out exactly what you are eating. Okay, tip number 3. This is tricky, and if you think about it, it's kind of weird, but it's in all stores. If you think about it, all grocery stores you've been to, what I'm about to reveal to you is quite amazing and amusing into a sense. When you walk into a grocery store, you have 2 options. You can go straight down the middle. You can go 3 options: straight down the middle, to the right, and or to the left. Okay. When you make this action, there's a lot of things that go into it. If you walk into a grocery store and you go into the right, normally on the right hand side is where you'll find your produce, your fresh foods, your whole food, the area you need to be going into. When you walk into a grocery store and you go into the middle aisle or you go to the left, it is normally junk food and/or processed food that is within all those aisles. Okay, so you're talking from canned food to canned mashed or box mashed potatoes, junk food, cookies, pies, cakes. There's all in that section. So what I do is when I go to the grocery store, I make a straight beam to the right because I know I need my bananas and I need my salad. I need everything from the right hand side. Then I make somewhat of an L shape, go to the back of the store. That's where you're going to find your dairy for the most part. Then you want to come up, find your breads, and then you want to exit. Okay, I skip everything in the middle. Monkey see, monkey do. If I see other people looking at the Oreos and this, next thing you know, I'm going to only eat one. I'm going to only eat 2. So do yourself a favor. Stay out of those middle aisles. You don't need to be there. You actually want to veer to the right, come around the back, come up the left, and make your way out. The last tip I want to leave you all with today, remember the ones I gave you thus far. The last tip I want to leave you with today when it comes to healthy eating is that Start slow. If you are normally buying canned green beans, right? You buy canned green beans, you love green beans, you buy them out of can. Start crossing over to frozen and or whole food slowly, one by one, week by week. If you buy box mashed potatoes, right? How about you say, you know what, instead of doing box mashed potatoes, let me veer to the right side of the grocery store and actually get me a whole potato and make mashed potatoes, okay? So you want to start, when you're crossing over to eating healthy, it's not going to happen overnight, okay? But what you want to do is you want to start canceling out things one by one, canceling out something that is canned or processed and replacing it with something that is a whole food. How can I get my mashed potatoes out of the box to mashed potato from a whole food? Use a potato. I am Britney El-Amin once again, and I want to thank you for tuning in with me to the DJ Starr Show. I hope you remember these facts and these tips that I gave you today. You take them with you and use them for your good and for your health, mind, body, and soul.
This is Endor, and you are watching the DJ Starr Show. Hey.
Hello and welcome to the DJ Starr Show. My name is Sam Radford and I'm the host for this segment of the DJ Starr Show. And if you saw the last two segments, you know that I'm here to talk about the District Parent Coordinating Council. My whole life in real terms has been dedicated to the fight for education. And so to be able to share with you really the impact that the District Parent Coordinating Council have had on my life as well as this school district is really one of the honors of my life, being real. So let me just kind of talk with you about right now. You know, in the last two segments, I really gave you a historical context for what brought me to this discussion, how we became a District Parent Coordinating Council. But this segment, I want to talk with you about today, right now. And if somebody would have told me, 5 years ago that where we are at today, that we would be here, there's no way I would have believed them. So let me tell you where we are today. Where we are today is that right now is probably the most exciting time in the history of Buffalo Public Schools to be a student in Buffalo Public Schools. I want you to just kind of wrap your mind around this. Based on the fact that we were out here fighting, we actually organized in 2011 a one-day boycott of Buffalo Public Schools. That's the kind of situation we in. That's how literally disappointed we were in the quality of education. We fought so hard that so many resources came to address education. In 2012, they brought in something called Say Yes to Education. What that means for Buffalo Public School students is every single student that graduates from a Buffalo public or charter school gets a full scholarship to college. Every one of them. I mean, and I know for people who don't know nothing about it or people who are not from Buffalo who might be watching this segment, that don't even sound realistic. Because when they came and told me that they're going to pay for everybody to go to college, I'm like, okay, what's the catch? It got to be, how much money you make. Your parents can't make this, or it got to be a certain grade. No. This was a scholarship for every single Buffalo public school. And that's a game changer. If you know anything about education, if you understand that if you can pick a college almost like you pick a high school, everybody gets to go. That was something that really inspired us and made us double down on our efforts to make sure our children would get a quality education and to make sure that our children got to graduate. Because what's the point of having a scholarship where everybody gets to go to college if you ain't graduating from high school? And so we really pushed. And so in 2011, when this started, there was a 48% graduation rate. Every year from that point, we then ticked up to where today we are at a 63% graduation rate. And I'm not even trying to pretend for 1 minute like a 63% graduation rate is acceptable. That's nowhere near acceptable, but by comparison to where we were, that's significant progress. We're moving in the right direction. More of our children are graduating. We're doing the work to get more of our children to graduation. And that really is because now there's something to hope for. You got something. If anybody who's been to college, trust me, you know the biggest thing that you got to deal with coming from college is debt. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, in real terms, you know, I just finished paying off my student loans 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I know some people still paying off their student loan. So for children to be able to have the opportunity in 2017 to where you graduate from college and you can go to college, you graduate from high school, you can go to college and you ain't got to acquire no debt. Think about the opportunity that is for our community. You can come back and that money that you would have been using to pay off your student loan, that's money you can put into owning a house. That's money you can put into investing in a business, investing into, you know, a car. You can do things that you don't have to do because that you otherwise would have had to do if you've had a student loan. So ultimately, this is something that changes the landscape of our community for the next 20 years. We have the opportunity to prepare a whole new professional class of students. And so the District Parent Coordinating Council commitment right now is partnering with the Buffalo Public School District. If you're not from Buffalo and you haven't been to Buffalo for a while, if you go down to downtown Buffalo, you won't even recognize it. I mean, it's a whole nother place than it was 5 years ago. If you go look in our medical campus, if you go look in what's going on in our university district, if you go look what's going on in Canal Side, Buffalo is changing. I mean, we're going from a place that nobody wanted to go to a destination place, a place that where people want to be. And I know that District Parent Coordinating Council fighting for quality education was part of that future that Buffalo ultimately wants to get to, because ain't nobody moving to a city where they got crappy schools. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but that's just the real deal. If you don't got a quality education system, that limits people's willingness to come be part of what's going on in the direction of your city. So the District Parent Coordinating Council's role right now is more about how we partner with the school district, how we partner with the city to make sure that we have children graduating. It was a time when I was growing up, if you got your degree, you was looking for how to get out of Buffalo. You was going to North Carolina, you was going to Atlanta. Now our kids can stay in Buffalo because the opportunities are here. 15,000 new units of housing built along the rapid transit, the rapid transit line. I mean, it is just such a different place. And so our opportunity is to now make sure that our children are, just like we had parents part of that decision making, now the District Parent Coordinating Council is positioning ourselves for the future. I'm in my last couple years with the District Parent Coordinating Council. My children are at the age, I got a 10th grader and an 11th grader. So in the next 2 years, I will be transitioning out. So what we're doing now is succession planning. We understand the importance of preparing for the future. And so in the next segment, I'm going to tell you about some real exciting stuff that we're doing in our succession planning. I had the honor to meet President Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle Obama. She gave some real good advice. I'm going to share that advice with you in the next segment. But we got into this process of preparing for our future. And so I'm just so thankful to DJ Starr that she gave us the opportunity to be able to share with you the history of the District Parent Coordinating Council and what we're doing for the future. This is one I'm getting in my next to last segment, but in this last segment, I'm going to tell you about the future of the District Parent Coordinating Council. I'm going to tell you about the future of what we have to look forward here in Buffalo. So thank you again for joining us. This has been Brother Sam, host of the DJ Starr Show for this segment.
Hi, my name is Siobhan Taylor, owner of Miss I Candy Boutique, located at 292 West Utica in Buffalo, New York, and you are watching the DJ Starr Show.
Good evening. Welcome to the DJ Starr Show. My name is Eileen Nowak, and I'm with Parish Outreach and Advocacy from Catholic Charities of Buffalo. We have a very large program available to us in that particular department, and that's called the Ladies of Charity, and that's what I'm here tonight to talk to you about. As you can see, we've got things all around us. The works of the Ladies of Charity are here, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But first, I'd like to tell you about a bit of the history of the Ladies of Charity. This is their 400th year anniversary of being in existence. The group started in France with St. Vincent de Paul 400 years ago. And he had women who were in the neighborhood who were willing to help him out, going house to house with people who had needs. Either they didn't have enough food, maybe they were ill, and then maybe they also just didn't have enough money to make ends meet at any given time, which is just like things happening today in our world, isn't it? So that group started up way back then, and then in 1941, the Ladies of Charity was brought to Buffalo by Catholic Charities of Buffalo. So we've had a wonderful working relationship for all of these years. And in addition to that, We are now, as I said, celebrating our 400th anniversary year of doing the same types of works that were done back then and a lot of new additional things, obviously. One of the things that we have is our thrift store. In our thrift store, we have clothing, we have household items, we have books, we have a variety of things. They're all very inexpensive, but also people can go to one of the caseworkers of Catholic Charities and a referral could be made if they so feel that that is something that you need to the Ladies of Charity to get items for free. So you can come and shop for free. As you can see behind me, these are all racks of underwear for men and women and children. And when someone comes in for those free referrals, they're also given a couple pair of underwear at the same time, new underwear, to help start things out fresh for them. And in addition to that, we do have another program called the Fresh Start Program. And that program is for people who were fire victims, people who were domestic violence victims. Maybe somebody just got out of jail and you just don't have items available to you. So if you go to one of the Catholic Charities caseworkers, you'll be able to talk to them. They'll be able to help you with a variety of things, but they may make a referral to us for those items. That's going to be household items, things like blankets, sheets, towels, pillows, dishes, pots, pans. These are the things that when you're starting a new home, if you don't have them, how are you going to exist day by day? So we do have those things available, and our volunteers here put those together for everyone. In addition to that, we also have a Christmas program where we do toys for 3,500 children at Christmas time, and a shut-in program for people who at Christmas time they're given holiday gifts. One of the wonderful programs we do have is the Layette program. This program covers many, many people during the year, about 700 families actually, for newborn babies coming into the world. They have nothing to bring them home from the hospital in, and we supply those items for them. People come here and get those bags. And I will introduce to you in a few moments one of the women who helped start that program. She's wonderful. In addition to that, we have available to you other items available to you through Catholic Charities, and you can call at our number 895-4001 if you have any questions or concerns, and we can recommend which office that you would maybe want to go
to. Hello everyone, this is Ulysses Owingo Sr., Masson District Council member. You are watching the DJ Starr Show.
I told you a few minutes ago about a wonderful woman that I wanted to introduce to you, and here she is. This is Estelle Anderson. She likes to go by the name of Daisy too. She's 95 years old, doesn't look it at all, and we just nominated her for the National Volunteer of the Year Award with Catholic Charities USA. And to all of our surprise, we are so pleased to announce that she actually won for the whole United States. So we're very, very pleased. And I talked to you a few minutes ago as well about the Layette program. And I'm going to let Estelle tell you how she got into the Layette program and why she got into the Layette program and volunteers for Ladies of Charity.
Well, when I first became a member of this organization, the leader in our church found out that I could sew. And so she asked me if I would do a little sewing for her. So the first week, she brought 2 gowns. I said, oh, I can do these 2 gowns with my eyes closed. So every week she'd add more and more. And I was so ambitious in my sewing that the big organization that they had me to join took notice of my sewing skills. So I ended up being chairman of the Layette program. And when I took over, the former leader of the Layette program had a little cardboard box with 2 or 3 items in it. So to build up the Layette program, I would go to the meetings every month, and they'd get each chairman in the different divisions to get up and talk. And when it came my turn, I would really talk up the Layette program. I would let the ladies know the things that I needed for the program. And we had a very aggressive president at that time. And she helped me talk up my program. And the members were very, very helpful. And then we began having baby showers in the various parishes. They would send a whole lot of beautiful baby things that they would make. Crocheted little blankets and sweaters and booties, and then a lot of the parishes who didn't have a lot of help, they would have a baby shower and they would send money to support our program. So we were very active, and we had so many interesting things to talk about and to realize what was happening out in the world. Every time we get close to war, all the boy babies would be born. Sure. Yeah.
Or after a big storm. 9 months after a big storm.
Yeah, but especially we would notice it when we were in a little war or threatening a war, and all these babies would be born, and they would be boys. More boy layers would go out at that time.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it'd go back to normal. Boys and girls, about the same number of each.
Well, I'd like to let you know that I do believe that Estelle and all the people who've worked with her over the years, up until this point, that's been about 30 years, that she's helped with all of her other help, over 10,000 new moms with their babies. That's a lot of people over the years, and we thank her for all that she's done and all of her devotion to the program. And we thank you for watching tonight, and we hope to see you again next week.